Hey guys, so I wanted to make a new training video for you guys, and instead of doing it live, I was not going to do that because I needed you to see the document for doing this. But before I start, I'm listening to this book in the car, and it's by Daniel Pink, and it's about To Sell is Human. And he basically, I think I've read like half the book so far or listened to it. And he talks about how people think that being a salesperson, there's some negative connotation to it. And there is like, they don't want to be a salesperson. And then he talks about how if you're a human, you are engaged a lot of your life in moving people, like he says, from one place to the other. And most of the time that you're doing this, it's whether you're a mother trying to get your kids to go to bed, whether you're a teacher trying to get your kids to do their homework, whether you are trying to negotiate a better deal with the person who cuts your lawn, whether you are trying to find a spouse, and it just goes on and on and on and stuff like that. And he also talked about the fact that most people think selling is just strictly taking money for a product, and that when he looks at salespeople and what salespeople really do, a lot of it is being and engaging in the activities that are non-sales. So meaning that there is no profit, there's nothing being sold. And most of your things that you do are inspiring people, they are connecting with people, all the things that we talk about. And the thing is that if you're not doing that great deal a part of what you do, and that's why posting on social media is so very important. It's why when we tell you to send out messages like hey girl or hey guy messages and things like that, it's because that is so important. It's almost like the sales, the challenge pack or whatever. That is like such a small, minuscule part of your job. And the way you get to that small part of your job is doing all this. And so I think a lot of people, I've had people tell me that they're not sure like what they should be messaging, and they're not sure what they should be doing, and things like that. So I actually apologize if I list. I just had gum surgery today. So I wanted to talk about having a funnel. And a funnel, is this way. And obviously at the top of the funnel is broad things, right? Broad things that you're going to be doing with people. And the hope is, if you have this funnel, is that every time you interact with this person, you are getting closer to the goal of actually having that person become a customer of yours, or perhaps be sign up to be a coach. Now, what's funny is that I had a conversation with a coach this morning, and we were talking about things. And I said, if you looked at your Facebook right now, do you know 10 people that you think would actually be a good match to doing Beachbody or being a coach? And she said, yeah, absolutely. And I said, and what kind of messages do you send out to them? And she's like, well, I really don't send out messages. And I was like, well, there you go. And so this is actually going to allow you to do things in a manner that you're going to feel comfortable with. It's going to be done in a step-by-step formation. I know I am very much big picture person. I actually don't like to be weighed down by steps and stuff like that. And so hopefully those people who are struggling with messages and not doing them, this is actually going to help you. And so I'm going to share my screen. And let's go to desktop. Okay, so here is the funnel document. I'm actually going to make it bigger for you so you can see it. Let's see, hopefully I can make this bigger. Yes, please. Okay. All right, let me see if I can make this bigger. Maybe I'll make the document bigger. Okay, so hopefully it's a little clearer, but you can see it. And so I basically had my assistant do this 3 times because we at least want you to be focusing on 3 people a day. And you can do this, maybe pick 10 people. It's up to you where your thing is. But my goal was that if I had my coaches doing this every day, that they possibly could be moving their business forward. And so there's 6 steps to this funnel. And the first step, as you can see here, it says to like on comment on a few of their posts. And so you're going to put a name here. So let's say I put Elizabeth Castile. This is before she joined me. I think that she might be a good person that actually might be receptive. So I'm going to put Elizabeth Castile there, which is good. So you know that when you do your power hour, that's who you need to go to. And so you're going to like or comment on a few of their posts. I probably would comment more because I think likes are pretty typical and people are used to them. And so in 2 days, you're going to go to step 2 with that person. And so that's why every day you could start with like a new bunch of 3 people, because in 2 days, you don't have to do anything with this person. And so step 2 for this person, so you're going to go to your notes, you have your power hour, and it says like or comment or message to connect. And so after you comment on a few of their posts for the past couple days, then you're going to send a message. Now, obviously, because you've been connecting with this person and seeing their timeline, it should be pretty typical for you to be able to think of a good reason why you want to message with them. Maybe it's that you think that she would be a good coach. Maybe she shared that they're having some financial problems. Maybe she shared that she is starting a diet again. So maybe the comment or message is like, hey, how's it going? Maybe her kid had her first day of school and you want to see like how it went and stuff like that. So I think that once you connect with somebody and you start commenting on their stuff, it actually makes it so it's easier for you to kind of think of a quick message. Now, these messages can be, they can be whatever you want. And you don't have to feel like, oh, I feel like awful because all I want to do is get a challenge pack sale from this person. Let me explain to you. If that's what you're thinking when you send the message, you're actually going to not be successful because you're actually not doing it in the right vein. You're actually not doing it in the right kind of just connecting with people, just wanting to be a good person. Connect on that way, because if you're sending that initial message out and you're like, oh, I need to get Success Club 5, like you're not going to do it. You're going to rush it. And I often like to use this analogy as a teacher. It's kind of like when you like a guy or a girl or whatever, and you were like all over them and you're calling them every 5 minutes and all this other stuff. And you're like, you're rushing it. And sometimes when we rush it and we don't have the right intentions, like, if you're a guy, whatever, you're trying to sleep with somebody, whatever, if you don't have the right intentions, it's just never going to work. It's never going to work. And so always at each step have the right intentions. And the right intentions at this point is you just want to connect with somebody. You just want to either make them feel good or supported or whatever. And just leave it at that. I'm telling you, it's going to be less bothersome. And then step 3 is you're obviously going to go back to your messages and you're going to see if they wrote you back. Obviously, not everybody will write you back. Here's why. Because I do it a lot myself. A lot of times a message will come through and I will read it and then I will not be able to respond, and then more messages come through and then it gets lost. And so I literally every 2 weeks have to go back to all my messages and make sure that I responded. Now, I run a business. Most of the people you're interacting with, they're not running a business. It's Facebook, like it's haphazard. And so rather than saying, oh, this person read my response and didn't respond to me, and taking that as a negative, just be like, no big deal. You might want to follow up. You might want to send another message. Maybe if, and I was just talking about this with another coach call, if they do respond, your job is to keep the person talking. It's to keep the person, and I was explaining to a coach that Carl Deichler was the one who actually taught me this, because I've seen him do it in messaging with him. And what's interesting with him is he'll never answer you back, and so that you give him like a yes or no answer, or he'll never answer you back in which you don't feel compelled to want to answer him. And what I mean by that is, let's say somebody says to him, oh my goodness, I lost 100 pounds with 225. I just wanted to thank you. Like his message in responding is to like connect with people. And so what he'll say is, that's awesome. What do you think it was? What do you think it was the one thing that helped you lose that weight? Or he'll say, that's so awesome. You hit that goal. What's next on your list? What's the next thing you want to do? And so if you go in with the vein that you want to continue to connect with this person, you're going to be able to easily do it. I think oftentimes as coaches, we put too much pressure on ourselves to get that challenge pack sale, or we feel like we're connecting and it's for nothing. Guys, anytime you connect with a human being, it's not for nothing. Please stop saying that, because it sounds awful when you say that. Guys, connection, you never know when that connection is going to turn out. I mean, who knows? The universe is so awesome that it's amazing how just putting good energy out there can come back in so many amazing ways. So you're going to check your message with this person. You're going to either follow up or your form. You'll ask about them, things like that. This is another thing I talked about with a coach this morning. She said that she sends in a message, talking about like, hey, thanks for liking my page. I run 30-day groups, whatever. Here's the link to sign up. And she was saying how most people don't respond to that. And I said, well, let's change it up, because we got nothing to lose. I said, why not just ask them a question? Because people love to have advice. People love to get asked advice. And so when you say to them, like, hey, thanks for liking my page. Can you tell me what is it that particularly drew you to my page? Or, hey, thanks for liking my page or my post or whatever. What is it about health and fitness posts that really that you really connect with? Something to get them like starting a conversation, rather than sending them to go join a group that if there's no connection with you, they might not do. And so the next step, so this is like the next day, maybe, you're going to follow up messages again, continue to form, that kind of thing. And then I would say, if somebody's not following up with your messages, if somebody isn't like answering your messages, I often post on their comment. So like I go back to see what they're posting, and I, just for whatever reason, just post on there, like in relation to what they're posting about. And you would be surprised how many people like rings a bell and they're like, oh shit, I forgot that I didn't answer your message or whatever, because I've done that all the time. And so there are very little ways that you can get in front of people without feeling that you are being bothersome. And if you feel like you're being bothersome, that's something you really need to take care of with self-development, because anybody that's listening to this, you have to know how this coaching opportunity or our products have changed your life. So how is it that you would think that you're bothering somebody? I mean, how many times are people inundated with, stuff that's not going to work, or people that just want to sell them? You have a genuine interest in them. You have a genuine thing that's going to work that you believe in. And so therefore, make sure you're going into your messages with the right kind of mindset. Okay, so Step 5 is you're going to invite them to a challenge group or coaching opportunity. And guess what? I don't care if they haven't actually messaged or answered your messages. You can say, hey, Jean, I'm just reaching out to you because I just talked about the health bet. I think it's an amazing way that people are going to win money because I don't think a lot of people know about it. And there is going to be this pot of $1 million to $3 million. And I am just actually talking to all my personal friends about it because I actually want them to be a part of it because I don't see a ton of people who know about it yet. And so, you know, maybe you're inviting them to the coaching opportunity. Maybe you want to talk to them about, you know, coaching and what you're doing. Maybe we are running a coaching opportunity. Those of you who are diamonds and above, you really do need to be creating your own events and your own, even if it's just you one-on-one getting onto the phone with people. In 2014, I did a lot of one-on-one phone calls with people about coaching and even just selling challenge packs. To me, getting on the phone with people just offers you so much of an opportunity to talk about things past just selling a product, because they're going to ask you what you do. They're going to ask you how you like it. Oftentimes I get into on the phone like what their family life is like. And so I've had people start putting their husbands on Shakeology because of that conversation and things like that. And so at step 5, you really need to pull the trigger, because for so many of you, you're doing these hey girl and hey guy messages, but you're never pulling the trigger. You're never inviting anybody to anything. And so if you are genuinely doing all these things, you're allowed to invite them. You are absolutely allowed to invite them. I got to tell you guys, I don't know anybody who is living, who is 18 years and older, who can't afford to get more healthy or can't afford to have another income stream. Most millionaires have 7 income streams. And I know, I just watch my husband, how many different businesses he has and how he's run his life. And I can completely, absolutely agree with that. Most people have one income stream. It's a W-2. The income is controlled by whoever wants to pay them, and they're not getting to their goals. And so I don't know anybody who is 18 years and older who couldn't possibly benefit from being a coach or getting healthier. And so the last thing, step 6, did they respond? And if they didn't, you know, obviously they get put back into number 1 again. So you're liking and commenting on a few of their posts and stuff like that. In 90 days, I would say probably 30 days is better, because I know that everybody that didn't answer me or anybody that kind of wanted to, or I've sent a message out, they kind of go into the slot again. And so that's up to you. But I got to tell you, if you're doing these steps every day during your power hour and you're focusing on at least 3 people a day, your business is going to grow just from a connection standpoint. Your business is going to grow because these people you are reaching out to, Facebook thinks that you're connected. And so Facebook is actually going to allow that person to see more of your posts in the algorithm, which is really, really important. And so I am going to post this in the group so that you can copy it for yourself and have that with you. I'd have to fix it now again. But this is going to be something that if you're somebody who's not writing messages, if you're somebody who is a little shy about that. And then the other thing is you need to be actively adding to your friend list. Now, I know some of you are actively adding to your Facebook pages and things like that, but you also kind of want to move them over to your Facebook profile too and add people. Guys, there is 6 degrees of separation with so many people. And I know I have a lot of people tell me, well, I can't find anybody, or I message everybody, or I know everybody. I'm like, girl, are you freaking kidding me? I started out in this business with like 200 friends, and I think I'm like close to like 4,000 or something like that. And I got to tell you, that came from little by little having my profile public and having other people post on my stuff and then other people find me. There are so many coaches I have that they saw somebody post. I got to tell you, that's how I found Danielle Natoni. My friend Brian, actually, I think they grew up together or went to camp together. And so he posted on her summit picture, congratulations. And I was like, well, who's this girl? She's very muscular, and, obviously read her post and everything. And that's how I started to follow her. I started to stalk her. And I say stalk because a lot of you, that's actually what you tell me. You tell me, hey, I've been stalking you. And so what this is going to allow you to do is going to allow you to call out those stalkers a little easier. Now, are people going to say no to you? Are people, may you get like a nastygram? Of course, you're going to get a nastygram just in general, because sometimes people just are in a bad part in their life, and you become, you get the shrapnel of that. And so you can't really let that stop you, because I got to tell you, in a conversation with Raina Odell, when she actually went from just being like a coach where I am, like number 60, to like being a top 10 coach, she's like, Kim, I literally started at the A's and I started messaging everyone. Every day, A's, let me get all the A's, let me get all the B's, let me get all the C's. And there you have it, folks. And so this is going to allow you some direction. It's going to allow you to feel a little more confident in how you're inviting people. And I hope you use it, guys. Let me go back here and stop sharing. So I hope that's helpful to you. I'm going to actually place a copy of this in the coaches group, and I hope that it becomes one of your techniques that you use during your power hour. Bye, guys.